In the year of 1912, Japan experienced change leader Emperor Yoshihito, or later known as Emperor Taisho, was appointed, became the leader of the Japanese Empire, succeeded his father, the Emperor Meiji. Change of power, filled with various bad things. Starting from the true condition of the emperor, it's been a pain-switching systems. Government of Japanese involvement in World War I saw the outbreak of the Spanish flu, death of Kanto, and even the terror of beer's deadliest in history. Japanese admin will not discuss more in the history of the Japanese Empire, because the DPL channel is not a topic specialist history, but the admin will try to discuss it. The deadliest bear terror takes place in the land of cherry blossoms. It was at the end of the cold year. Japan is covered in snow in parts. In large areas the population chooses stay at home and enjoy the short collected food previously warmed his body with, campfire, and just doing a little side activities. The atmosphere at home should be quiet and peaceful, but not for the residents in the remote village of Sankebetsu in Hokkaido. Region is the pioneer village new settlement with few residents. Who build a house there as immigrants who open new land in around the forest. They are aware of the danger from forest dwellers who are disturbed by his presence, but they once thought that danger was lurking much more terrible than them. Imagine mid-November of the year 1915 was the beginning of the terror that would come haunt them that winter. Should happen, so it's hibernation time for the bears, but in a way surprisingly. There was a big bear who entered the village secretly. The bear entered the yard and causing domesticated horses to panic. The horse apparently caused the pest bear fled into the forest. In the first visit, it was a bear just take some corn. Homeowners feel uncomfortably with the presence of invited guests, but they still understand. It then on the 28th November the bear comes again. The arrival of a pest bear large-sized forces homeowners whose name was Akida started to worry about him, afraid that the bear would attack his horse. Akida then called his son and invite some animal hunters to Tavachu on November 30th for the bear. Come again, people already waiting for him. When the bear approached, they immediately fired shots at him. They were unsuccessful in killing the bear, but it caused him to be injured by the bear fought into the forest. People followed his blood trail too. In the forest leading to Mount Onisaka, they planned to go straight, sorted it out, but unfortunately it stormed. The snow hindered their plans because of situations that don't allow them select return to village with the gunshot wound. He sufferer people was sure that it was a bear. Definitely scared, and never will bear return to the Tapi residential. Unfortunately, they arrived a few days later, to be exact, December 9th, when the villagers feel safe from bear harassment. They shot suddenly. Instead there was more terrible 10.3 and bear. Entering the house, the men were working. In the fields inside the house, there are only a woman with a small child. When treated, the bear went berserk, attacked the two occupants of the house defenseless. The child was attacked head and immediately died temporarily. Frightened woman tried to fight back with the woman's firewood. Immediately ran away from inside the house. Fortunato. The bear chased him, attacked him fiercely, and then killing him. The bear carrying the woman's body into the woods, while a small child, those who died horribly, were left behind just like that in the house. Supposedly, bear attack left very scary view of the house. It was messy and blood was splattered all over it everywhere. People are angry with the bear attacks them immediately. Call for help the next day for him. They enter the forest tracking the trail bear in order to find the remains of the body. Women who have he took them on their search managed to find the bear immediate healthy, just shot. Even though they hit him, but the bear managed to escape. Next they managed to find the remains of the body of the woman sought. But only the bear's head and legs remained. The terror had eaten. People came out of the forest carrying the remaining body of the bear's victim, then buried him. They arranged a plan to embody the monster due to the unusual behavior of the bear fella that they believe if sank the monsters will definitely come back to search the next victims, end up being calculatory to trap them. They hide and waiting for the bear to come around 8 o'clock at night. The bear did come again and looking for the next victim, but soon just invaded by residents who have waiting for him. Some successful shots about it, but unfortunately the bear still came. He blurted out because people were immediately and egg hunt him down. They followed the trail, abandoned bear, but fateful decision on her directly hunt bears, instead causing disaster. Next, the bear was injured and panicked, but his hunger seemed to watch Fordo more negatively. Instead of running away to in a distant forest, he instead entered another house with a fierce bear into the house inhabited by several women, as well as a small bear cubed. Attacks and injures them, some die and some live. Eaten, they are helpless to foresee the big monster, while the men still in the forest following the trail of their bears really missed out. Luckily, there are still herbivores bear attack at his house run into the woods to meet the men announce a new disaster happened. They immediately went to the location. Apparently, the attack was still happening. Immediately, they shot at the bear. Unfortunately, the bear managed to escape back inside. Forest condition of the Finnish second Hussite bear's victims were more terrible than previously. There were more victims and the damage is also more severe. This terrible thing was then reported to authorities. They fielded more. Many hunters are experienced. The following days remote areas are like zones, or with several city shooters were on standby, as well as the guards who keep watching. Unfortunately, when they was the bear ready or not. Appears even if it appears it all came to a house that was not deep monitoring of the bear is still ongoing carrying out terror. But somehow Hare can always escape and escape ambush of hunters. Several people even believe that the bear was too smart enough to be able to avoid people unharmed after the terrible terror that continued to happen for several days. Finally, it all came to an end. December 14th, a hunter named Yamamoto finally got it finished of the big monster. Shot him twice. The first shot at the heart and a second shot hit the head with the bear's death. Then the terrible terror ended occurred in Sankebetsu village. People did an autopsy on the bear's body. They found remains victim's body in his stomach. That's it, causing mounting anger. The bear itself was then cut up, cooked and eaten together. It is said this was done as an act of retaliation against the monsters who had causing many casualties. The bear itself is a type of Bearasuri brown or Eoso brown bear, spread across the Eurasian region known as the brown bear. Sankebetsu bear rocus in Nawa, or Tamamai brown bear naming will refers to the attack area. Happened the size of the monster bear is teleglot with a length of up to 2.7 meters and weighs around 340 kilograms. It is only estimated between 7 to 8 years. Unusual behavior with hunt humans allegedly because of their condition. Those who fail to hibernate wake up prematurely where the weather is coldest, reaching its peak, making it starving. But unfortunately, you can find food because the prey is already they move to warmer regions. Because of his condition, he became malevolent and finally hunts humans. Coincidentally, it was just a remote village inhabited by several residents who makes the action more freely. This attack is an attack. The worst bear in Japan even happened. One of the worst bear attacks in human history. It is said to be the big insider and unusual figure. Some even consider it to be Satan. After the bear died suddenly, there was a big storm destroying parts of Japan, not to mention unrest within the government. Japan is often linked with the terror incident. Japan to be a remote village, itself only abandoned by its occupants. A settlement that was in suspended animation during years and new in the range of years 1946. There were new residents inhabited by one of the victims of the attack. Surviving bears live in trauma and a deep hatred for bears, vote to hunt bears as much as possible and for as long as possibly his life. He managed to spend approx 102 bear brown bird incident. Sankebetsu is one of the disasters. The worst thing that happened was an attack. The satisfied animal seems to complete the attack from the lion SCFO Tiger Campawat Makanse Rudrabraya and to Gust. In final words, human indeed must be self-aware and live side by side with nature. Don't let them go in berserk because of human behavior. Thank you for watching. And sorry if there are still many errors.